Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and today I want to show you how to make a pair of earrings. I'm going to show you the technique involved, and this is what the final finished pair will look like. I've got two of them here. And what you can see is they are very fun and festive, sparkly, and they're actually very easy to make. And what you're going to need is some of this chain. It's a circle chain, so it already has these wonderful uniform circles already attached. You'll need some earring hooks, some chatons, any color will do, and actually you can do whatever size you want as long as it will fit in within the little 5mm circle. You'll need some crystal clay. Again, it could be whatever color you like. You could just do one color, or in the case of these earrings, I've done two. So those are the supplies you're going to need. Now the tools you'll need is a pair of wire cutters, a pair of chain nose pliers, and then some applicator to pick up your chatons. You can use a toothpick, which has a wax tip that comes with the crystal clay kit, or I have a magic pick right here as well. So actually I did this project with some leftover chain because I love this chain and I had some scraps. So I just cut myself a length, and you can do them as long or as short as you want. So I'm just going to cut one of the actual soldered jump rings. So I don't want to cut the actual circles, the 5mm uniform circles. You'll see that they have like a harder edge. I want to cut one of the jump rings as linking the chain together. Separate that out. You will lose a couple of little circles. It's totally fine. So to show you this, I'm just going to use this shorter piece of chain, and I'm going to use some fuchsia crystal clay. It is recommended that you use gloves for this process. I'm going to do it without gloves here, just so it's easier to see. And then I'm going to wash my hands right away with soap and water after I do it. So, it's not going to take much crystal clay at all for this project. I'm going to pinch off a little bit of part A, which is the color, part B, which is the hardener, and I'm going to make sure I have equal amounts. I'm doing that by just rolling each one into a little ball, and looks like I need just a tad bit more of B. Okay, those look pretty even to me, so I'm going to squish them together, and I'm going to just mix them. And the goal is to mix them so that all the striations are gone. So you can see that we've got quite a bit of modeling here. We want to wait until we have a uniform color before we stop the mixing of them. And that looks pretty good to me. So now we want to get little bits of clay into the circles, and we're going to do that by pinching off just a little bit, rolling it into a ball. And then we're going to look at our chain. Actually, this is why I like having the chain nose pliers. So when I actually am finished here, this part here is going to connect to my earring hook. So this is how my chain will hang. So I want to look and see where I might want to put a crystal. So I like this circle right here. So I'm going to grab it. And I actually find it easiest if I just separate it out like so. So now I'm going to take my circle of crystal clay, and I'm going to just put it inside of the circle. And it is sticky, so it does take a little bit of work. And I'm just going to squish it down so that it's touching the interior edges, and that's going to be what it adheres to. Okay, so once I've filled that, I'm going to take my magic pick. I'm going to pick up a chaton. It could be a little bit harder with some of these heavier chatons. And if it gets to be where you need a little bit more stickum, this little pad comes with the magic pick, and it has some tape on one side. You just roll your pick over the tape, and that should get you some more stickum on the end. There we go. So now I'm just going to place the chaton into the crystal clay, I'm going to press it from the back side too because I want to make sure that's in there. So there is one. Now I'm going to go find another one I want to do. And I didn't do all of these, and I also made sure I kept track of what was going to be the front of my earring so I didn't have to do any in the back. So there's the front, so maybe I'll do this one over here. So again, I'm just going to pinch off a little bit of clay. Okay, I've filled my circle. Now I'm going to pick up another chaton. Try to center it. There we go. Press down. Again, give it a little press from the back side as well. And then you'll go on to the next one. So keep double checking where you're at in terms of the orientation of your earring and what's going to be the front side. Okay, so now I've got one, so that'll be the straight on front. So I got one in the front, one to the side. Maybe I want to do one over here. And you'll get a feel for how much clay you need each time. So I'm just going to stick that in there. Sometimes you need an extra hand. Here we go. Okay, press that down. Do any cleanup that you need to do. You'll see that there's a little gap right there. That's going to be fine. As long as you have the crystal clay touching most of the sides, it's going to stay in there. Right, and I go back, see how my earring's looking. There we go. So there's 3. Now I would probably keep it with this length. I would just keep the 3 in the fuchsia color, and then I would do darker purple, maybe 3 or 4. So you get the idea of how to do that. And when they're all done, you are going to go ahead and keep them in an upright position. So somehow anchor it. What I actually ended up doing was I just took my pliers like so, and I rested it over an edge, like at the edge of a table, so it's just hanging, and that way it can cure overnight, and they're going to cure in the right direction because the crystal clay is going to harden, and if it's touching anything, it's probably going to stick to that as well and cure attached to that. So you don't want to have this laying flat and have them stiff and sticking out in all different directions. So you want them to hang in a vertical direction, and then when they are all cured, all you're going to need to do to finish your earring is take an earring hook, open it, it's a little tough because these are still wet, but I do want to show you how to just attach the earring hook. And don't attach the earring hook until these are cured because you could smudge them or cause them to lose their shape. There we go. All right, and that is the technique involved in making this fun pair of earrings using a nice circle charm chain, crystal clay, and crystal chatons.